What's good, family? It's your boy Sykes, and you are looking live at our very first episode of Special Delivery. Dog, that feels so good to say. So, some of y'all are probably wondering, yo, Sykes, what is Special Delivery? I've never even heard of this. You haven't tweeted about it. What's going on here? Long story short, folks, this is a sneaker unboxing show. But it ain't finna be a regular sneaker unboxing show. I'm not about to tell you whether these shoes are fire or not. You have eyes, you can determine that on your own. What we are going to talk about, though, is the history behind these sneakers. Think about it. When that sneaker hits your doorstep, that's its very last stop in a long journey. But before that, it was a concept. It was an idea inspired by something. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So, introducing our very first subject on Special Delivery. Oh, that is so fire. The Nike's ISPA Road Warrior. All right, fam, so let's crack this thing on open. Woo! Woo! This is crazy. Look at this shoe, y'all. This is trippy, funky, however you want to describe it. This is a wild kick. Just starting with the details from heel to toe, we got this big gap right here. That is really interesting. Then you move up to these zoom pods, these exposed zoom pods right there. That's pretty crazy. And just moving on up, you see this real thick knit material that it feels really familiar. Then we got this cage right here covering it. It's real thick, real sturdy. Then, oh my goodness, y'all, these zip ties. This is a real good touch. Replaces the laces in this because there are no laces in this. But the thing that I'm really stuck on right now, the thing that I know y'all want to see, the split toe right here, y'all. This is I ain't never seen nothing like this in the shoe. To really get into the story of this shoe, we got to take a step back and talk about ISPA as a brand at Nike and ISPA's ethos. To do that, we're going to use this box right here. So let's get into it really quick. As you can see, the ISPA logo is right here on the box. It's actually an acronym. It stands for Improvise, Scavenge, Protect, and Adapt. And as you can see, this logo looks really weird. It's really funky, just like these shoes. But that's also intentional. These fonts in this logo, they all come from different categories at Nike. This I comes from Air Max, this S comes from the Nike Shox, this P comes from the Presto, and this A comes from Vapor Max. And that's all intentional. So ISPA as a brand, it takes all of these different categories and different pieces from Nike and puts them together to make these really weird and funky shoes that are supposed to be able to function in different kinds of environments. So just going back to this shoe really quickly, yeah, this looks really weird and really funky, but it's not just Frankenstein-y for Frankenstein's sake, right? This shoe has so much functionality and so much intention to all of these parts that are involved in it. And we're going to go over them right now. Going over the shoe one more time from heel to toe, you have this really wide open heel unit right here. This actually comes from the Nike Shox, you know, the shoe that Vince Carter made popular in the 2000s. The only thing is with this, there are no springs attached. You get it? No springs attached. That's funny. Don't worry about it. I'll be here all week. Don't even worry. Then just moving up, you go to these exposed zoom units right here, and that's more prominently featured in Nike's runners, like the Alpha Fly Next Percentage that Eliud Kipchoge wore when he broke that sub 2-hour marathon record last year. That's where this comes from. And then on top of that, you just move up to this really thick knit material, even this pretty thick cage right here. And those are more prominently featured in running and training shoes, you know, like the Presto and the Vapor Max. But we see them here in a shoe like this that isn't necessarily intended for running or training. But then just moving on to that part that I know y'all really want to know about, this split toe right here. This is actually inspired by early 20th century Japanese jikatabi footwear. It was made originally for hard labor tasks, you know, things like construction and farming, but now we see it in a Nike shoe like this, and the purpose of it is to keep the wearer on balance. So I think that's a pretty dope touch for a shoe like this one. And then on top of all that, this shoe in itself is just a work in conservation. You have this knit material right here, and that's recyclable. And all of these pieces, all of these details, these are leftovers from other projects that Nike has already completed, and they just threw them into this silhouette and made it work. And I think that's a pretty cool feature for a shoe like this. We gotta get down to brass tacks with this thing. We gotta talk about who this shoe is really for. And the truth is, this is a collector's item. There are only 8,000 pairs of these things made, and on top of that, they're $500. So it's not like you're just gonna see somebody randomly walking down the street with these things on. That's not gonna happen. But that's okay, because this is more of a piece of art. It's a time capsule, if you will. There's so much of Nike's history put into this one silhouette. I mean, just think about it. You have this heel from the Nike Shox, and then you have these Zoom pods that are featured in runners. That's 20 years of history right there. And that's not even getting into this knit material and its cage and the eras that they came from. So if you're gonna do a collector's item, I think this is the way to do it. But that's it for us today, folks. This has been Special Delivery. I'm your boy Sykes, and this is Nike's ISPA Road Warrior. We got a lot more sneaker stories to come, and I hope y'all are with us for them all.
Hey sports fans, if you want to see more videos like this, check out some of our other ones right here. And if you like what you see, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more from USA Today Sports.